Hi there, Lindsay here from Lindsay's Book Nook. I'm really so excited that you've joined us for this online book party. It's going to be a blast. So right now I'm just going to run through a bunch of books to give you an inside look. These particular books that I'm looking at in this video for a little bit older kids, probably like 5 and up, but I just want to point out that yes, we have age suggestions for our books, but you do not have to stick in those boxes. If you see a book that you think your kid would love, but it's just not the right age, go for it. It doesn't matter. Our books are super versatile. I feel like there's something for everyone in our books, especially when you have these older books that I'm looking at. Younger kids can look at them too. You know, we can start reading to our kids from the moment they are born, and it's so good for them. So I just want you to embrace that idea. You know, a lot of our books, until you get into the chapter books, are going to be okay for all kids. They're going to just look at them differently and pull different things from them, and also bring new ideas to the table based on their age when they're looking at a particular book. So I'm going to start out with our picture books. We have a ton of new original picture books, but we also have these great classics. Anne of Green Gables is one of my favorites. As you can see, this cover is just gorgeous. Usborne, they design our covers so that kids see them from 6 feet away and come to them and want to open them up, which I love. We are really into illustrations because we know that that's what kids love when they're really little. That's what draws them in. And so we want to build this amazing foundation for kids, and illustrations are where it's at. So, as you can see, these illustrations are beautiful. A lot of these individual classic picture books, like we have Jack and the Beanstalk, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, you will find these later on in some of our larger illustrated collections that I'll be pointing out in the video coming up. So that's Anne of Green Gables. Love it. Next up are our Wipe Clean books. These are so awesome. This is vacation activities, but we also have more school subject-based books like letters, numbers, math problems, telling time, words. You can also get in some great ones for the new writers, like pen control, dot to dots are great for that. So what's so awesome is that we have this Wipe Clean pen. It's kind of like a dry erase marker. You can see that these pages are nice and glossy, and they get in here and they do their work and they practice writing their letters and their numbers, and then you wipe it all clean and they can be used again later. They can be passed down to siblings, after years of use, which I love. Great for, using in the car. Parents love that for road trips and things like that. So look up Wipe Clean on the site and you're going to find tons of titles. This is one of our very, very popular books and one of the books that I suggest the most because it's so incredibly versatile. The Complete Book of Farmyard Tales. Nice, big, thick book. It's got this cushioned hardcover. What's so great about this is that it is a dual reader. What this means is that on the inside, there are going to be 2 lines of text. You've got the top line, which is pretty simple, and then kind of the same information of the story down at the bottom, but it's a bit more detailed. Sorry, I'm peeking under the book here. It's so funny. But anyway, so for little kids who may not have a great big attention span, you can read this top line. And then below, for older kids, you can read that more detailed line. So great, so versatile. Then the really neat thing is that when your child is then learning how to read, you can jump up to this top line, which is a first grade reading level, and that they can practice. So we have beautiful illustrations. These are by Stephen Cartwright, who's one of our really popular illustrators in our line. And on every spread is a hidden duck that your kids can find. Kids love that. This one's right there. And in every book that he illustrates in our line, that hidden duck is there, which is so fun. This does come with a CD, which is awesome to listen to in the car. It can also be great to listen to as they read along that top line. Speaking about books that help kids learn to read and also practice, we have a ton of phonics readers. Lots of fun titles. This is Fox on a Box. There's Underpants for Ants. Bee Makes Tea. Snail Brings the Mail. So great. Phonics is a method, a really popular method to help kids learn to read. You can look in the book here, and the first page here talks about phonics and what it is for the parents, and then we also have in the back notes for the parents, which is so great. It's such a great resource. These are only $6.99, but I just want to bring your attention to a full collection that has 12 phonics stories in it, all in one collection. It is called Ted and Friends, and it also has a CD that comes with it. It is $19.99, but when you think of the prices, these individual paperbacks are $6.99. Such a great deal, and just a great book to have, you know, for lots of different age groups in your family, those phonics readers. We have our Shine a Light books. Super, super popular books, and you're gonna see why in a second. Now, this is on the space station. We have on the train, on the plane, on the construction site. How fun is that? We have more nature-based books. We have Secrets of the Apple Tree, Secrets of Winter, the Rainforest, the Seashore, and our new one is Secrets of the Vegetable Garden. So real quick, I'm going to show you Secrets of the Apple Tree. It's one of our best-selling books. This is wonderful. It looks at the ecosystem around an apple tree, things that we don't really see till we look up close. So this is fun to read to your kid and then later go on a nature walk. And man, they're going to be looking at everything around them in a totally different way. So it says, an apple tree is green with leaves in summer. Can you see what it looks like in winter? And you shine your flashlight behind it and you can see what the tree looks like. And then when you turn the page right here, it's going to go into the information a little bit more. Just so fun. I mean, give a kid a flashlight and a book, snuggle up at night, and it doesn't get any better. It says here, can you see who is resting under this pile of leaves? And then you shine the light and there's a frog. This makes an awesome gift to give with a book and a flashlight, because Usborne is known for our nonfiction books. You know, we just looked at the Shine a Light books. Those are nonfiction, but just formatted in such an entertaining and neat way. And then we also have these series called Beginners. It has all kinds of topics, but caterpillars and butterflies, pandas, night animals, horses and ponies, bees and wasps. I mean, all these different titles you could think of that your kids could be interested in. Planes. This is the Beginners series. It's for kind of like ages 6 and up. We also have a Young Beginner series that we just came out with. Those two titles are Baby Animals and Flowers. Those are for younger kids, probably ages 4, just based on how much information is in it. But these are super engaging, beautiful photos. Nonfiction is really great to show to your kids at a young age because, you know, this is what they're going to be reading the most of in school. So giving them these awesome nonfiction, engaging books is great. So those are the beginner series. Then you can get into this series called Discovery Adventures. This is a bit more mature content, as you can see. Deadly Animals. We have drones, spying, helicopters, survival, extreme sports, cycling, really cool topics. This is kind of for ages 8 and up. What I love about these is that Usborne knows how to meet kids where they are. Remember, kids are shown to stop reading as they get older. So what we do is we kind of, oh, I did it upside down, excuse me. What we do is we put really neat things in here for these older kids, like maps. There's maps in here. And what I really love, I'm going to find it, we have comics in here. I mean, how cool is this? Using comics to share, you know, nonfiction information with the kids. It's just so great, and it really engages them. Such a great series, the Discover Adventure series. The True Adventures. True Adventure Stories, excuse me. Titles like Crime and Detection, Gangsters, Polar Adventures. I love this Everest Adventures cover. I just think it's so bright and pulls me in. This is actually on my list of things to read next. You know, this follows true stories of people who went on Everest expeditions. How fun. I loved learning about real people and true stories when I was a kid. This is an awesome book, The Astronaut's Handbook. This has a foreword by Katie Coleman, who is an astronaut. She actually read to her son while she was in space through video. Some of the contents I just want to point out. It says, are you cut out for space? Congratulations, you're a space cadet. Lift off. And then it ends with Down with a Bump, which looks into how you feel when you get back to Earth. And this is a funny book, I think. It really, like, meets kids with good humor. There's a page, for instance, using the toilet. And it's really detailed, which I think is great. I mean, aren't these the kind of things that we want to know, our kids want to know? Like, how do you go to the bathroom in space? It's kind of got like this funny sense of humor to it, this book. And I like the format of it, you know, preparing your kid to go to space, this handbook for an astronaut. Oh, and Katie Coleman in the beginning talks about how math can help you learn to fly. I want to pop in here with another great nonfiction book, and it's an example of when I was talking about you don't have to stick in the box of the age suggestions. This is 1,000 Animals, such a cool book. I mean, take a look at the inside of this. I believe 1,000 animals. What a neat thing for kids to look at. It has different categories. So this is recommended for ages 6 and up. But I gave it to my son when he turned a year old because he loves animals. And he looks at this book. Every time he opens it, he goes, whoa. And we're kind of getting into now, we live in the country and there's an owl that lives in our yard. And he's been flying around during the day, which is so neat. But the other day we were watching owl, and then we ran and got this book, and we found every kind of owl that is throughout this book. So this is a great book, 1,000 Animals. It's got these awesome thick pages, which is another reason why I think it's awesome for little kids. There's 1,000 animals, 1,000 things to eat, and 1,000 things that go. Got times tables activity book. So awesome. There's stickers in here. Awesome resources for your kids for these subjects of school that they might need extra help with. We have illustrated dictionaries, and it kind of covers different ages. There's also one for like elementary, and then you can even get up into middle school, high school type ages. There's physics, biology. These are so cool. I wish I had these when I was a kid. I'm going to have to use these in the future, I know, to help my son because I'm so bad at math. But what a great way to help kids learn and also to use as a resource for homework. This is not a math book. So fun. It looks how art and math actually coincide and how they are one and how math is really art. This is so neat for your little artists who maybe they don't really like math or vice versa. You know, it's an activity book, so they're very hands-on. You're going to look at pattern, symmetry, shape, creating perfect circles and triangles and designing your own shapes. Usborne has a ton of activity books and drawing books. If you have a little artist in your family, you're going to find all kinds of things, you know, from doodling books to coloring books, tons of art project books. We have these activity packs. They come in a bunch of different ones. This is a rainy day one. There's one for drawing. There's like a holiday winter one. Comes with 4 little books depending on the topic. These are the one for the rainy day book. I like the things to make and do on a rainy day. Here's a neat one, A Year in My Life. It prompts your child every day to either write something or draw something, which really gets their minds going, engages them, and what a great little keepsake for later. Tons of sticker books, so many sticker books. Sticker books are awesome for kids' development, so you can start them when the kids are very young. This is a neat one, 1001 Bugs to Spot sticker book. What I like about this, it's got like your nonfiction thrown in there. So they're finding 7 frog beetles on the page. So they find those, and then they go in the middle and they get the stickers. Tells you what page it's on, and they put it on the page. So great. We have a lot of things to spot sticker books. Look at this, perfect for spring, gardening for beginners. Really awesome book. It lays flat because it's this, I don't know what that's called, but that binding like that. There's lots of activities in this and different things to plant. Teaches you about how things grow and how to plant flowers and herbs and different vegetables. Our illustrated collections are amazing. There are these thick books with cushioned hardcovers and a ribbon in every book to keep your place. This is one of my favorite ones, The Enchanting Stories. This is set up as a chapter book, sort of. There are 6 stories in here, I believe. I'll find the contents for you. And they're set up with like short little chapters. I actually often recommend this for younger kids as a storytime book. But we also have illustrated Aesop's Fables, classic stories, fairy tales, princes and princesses. Then you can get into Greek mythology, Norse mythology, Hans Christian Andersen. We have Dickens and also Shakespeare abridged versions, which is an awesome way to introduce your kids to it. And depending on your child's age, there are different text to illustration ratios. So if you need help with that, figuring out which one would be good for your kid's age, just let me know. Like I said, this one I like for kind of younger kids because there are illustrations on every page. But as you get into like Norse mythology, for instance, there are not as many illustrations. While we're talking about Shakespeare, I just want to point this out. This is our Where's Will, excuse me. It's kind of like Where's Waldo, but you're finding William Shakespeare in 10 of his plays. Look at these illustrations. So cool. So what happens is you get to a play. This is Macbeth, and you learn about it. You learn about the characters in it. And then I think you actually can look for some of those characters too within the next page as you're looking for William Shakespeare. Ending with some of our chapter books. I'm going to start with Billy B. Brown. This is our beginning reader chapter book. We also have Hey Jack. Billy and Jack are best friends, so they're separate series, but they do show up in each other's stories, which are great. There's no more than 50 words on a page and illustrations on every other page. This is an awesome way to introduce your kids to chapter books and read aloud, or like I said, it's a beginner reader book. Also, a neat thing is that if your kids like the character of Billy and Jack, there's a step up called Billy B. Mysteries, and that's for a little bit older kids. I want to highlight the last 13. This is one of our most popular series of books. There are 13 books, starting with book 13 and goes on down. This is kind of an adventure, suspense, mystery book. I have read this book. It definitely keeps you on your toes, and I will be reading book 12. It's suggested for ages 11 to 15, but I would say 9 years old. I wouldn't say that the maturity level is any scarier or harder than, say, Harry Potter, just for a frame of reference. You know, you'll use your own judgment for your own child, and it would also be maybe a good read aloud for that age too. Bloomsville Diaries, I have not read it, but I've heard it's great. If you're looking for another adventure, mystery, suspense novel that's had great reviews, this is a good one. This is for ages 9 and up. Bloomsville Diaries. Here are some for a bit younger, 8 and up. This is a lot of the girls love Penny Dreadful. This is an awesome series. Penny, she doesn't try to get herself into trouble, and she always has good intentions, but things always end up going wrong for her, and it creates these hilarious situations that she finds herself in. I love the illustrations in this book. I'm going to finish with Sandy Lane Stables. I haven't read these, but this is great because we have a ton of like fairy, pony, princess books that are awesome, and a lot of kids love those. But then you have kids who kind of want more realistic, and this is a great book for them. You know, it deals with friendship and responsibility and a little adventure, and then it's all set at these stables. So if you have a horse lover, it's very realistic with things that happen with the horses and all of that. And here's a little peek inside. This is suggested for ages 8 and up as well. So I hope this was a good overview for you to give you a start. We have so many more books and so many more I'd love to share with you, but this is a good overview to just get you started, and I hope you enjoyed.